My name is Dr. Michelle Coletti. I'm an occupational therapist with over 30 years of experience working with children with sensory and regulatory issues. Children who basically are having problems with at home and problems in class. So this presentation is called Behavior Problems in Occupational Therapy. Does your child need occupational therapy? So as I said, I'm an occupational therapist with over 30 years of experience working with children who have many meltdowns or tantrums during the day. During their tantrums, they might bite, kick, hit, bang their head. During their tantrums, they have a history of demonstrating aggression towards other children in school or preschool or daycare. They have difficulty with authority figures. They get in trouble in class. They can have difficulties with elimination and have difficulties sitting still or paying attention in class. So if we kind of want to break down these behaviors and kind of look at the neurology of them, look at the muscles that they're using, look at the sensory input that they're giving themselves when they bite, they're using their jaw muscles, right? And your jaw muscles actually are very powerful muscles in your face. They hit, right? Hitting, using your arm muscles in a very forceful way. They can headbang. That's a lot of tactile input into their head, and it could also have a lot of the muscles force in the neck being used, kicking, of course, their legs. So, as an occupational therapist, one of my jobs is to take any behavior and kind of look at it from what sensory input is the child giving themselves as they do this behavior. So when we move our muscles, the sciencey word uh, is called proprioception. So moving our muscles means we're giving ourselves proprioceptive input. And this sensory input from our muscle goes to our brains. One of the part of the brain that it goes to uh, helps us know how we're moving our body and limbs. The other part of the brain it goes to is the part of the brain that actually can help us be more calm. Our skin registers many sensations: heat, pressure, pain, touch, and light touch. Light touch, though, can feel like a mosquito landing on your arm or a centipede crawling on your arm, and this can result in an aggressive response to touch. Aggressive responses to touch can impact a child's ability to stay in line in school and to, make friends and have relationships. Vestibular is basically you can think of as movement in space, and our vestibular receptors are in our inner ears. It's our sense of balance. It lets us know the position of our heads and or if our bodies are moving through space. If we're running, right, our body is moving through space and our head is on top of our body. So our vestibular sense says, yeah, we're moving through space. If I'm sitting still though, and I just move my head, well, my head is moving through space, right? Up and down, right, left. Moving your head will also uh, stimulate the vestibular receptors. Again, this sensory input, yes, goes to the part of our brain that helps us balance, that helps us keep our eyes focused on what we're looking at while our body is moving. And it also goes to the place in our brain that helps us calm down. Children who have difficulty paying attention in class or who cannot sit still in class may have difficulty with their vestibular processing. They may not be getting enough vestibular input. Um, their processing might be slow. Um, our vestibular input tells us about our balance, goes to the place in our brain that helps us be calm, and it also goes to a place in our brain that helps keep us being alert and paying attention. Our vestibular receptors send information to our postural muscles so that we can sit up straight. And again, they also send information to the area of our brain that helps keep us awake. Sometimes children are not able to sit still in class because their brains are craving movement, but the child is not consciously aware that their brain wants more movement or that they're actually moving in their seat, right? Because all of this processing Our sensory processing happens below our conscious awareness. And none of us is consciously telling our brain what to do to process this information, right? This happens all below the level of our self-awareness. So all of these processes are subconscious processes. The children may not be aware that they're squirming in their seats. Um, they all they know is that they're trying to pay attention, but for them, paying attention means keeping their arousal level up enough so that they can pay attention, which means their body just starts to move. They may only be focused on trying to pay attention in class. They may have no idea how disruptive their squirming can be for other children or for the teacher, for that matter. So I want to tell you a little bit about some children that I've worked with. I worked with a 5-year-old, and when she came to me, this is how her mother describes her. My child had significant emotional outbursts, drastic food aversions, always moving, unable to sit still, very rough play, including wrestling, tackling, body slamming, poor coordination, lots of bathroom accidents. Her sleep routine was very challenging, awake until 11 p.m. sometimes, and really unable to calm down. So I saw her for about a 6-month period, and I would see her. It was a 50-minute session one time a week in the sensory gym. So this is now at the conclusion of our time together. So this is how mom says that her daughter's outbursts have calmed significantly. She can stop herself before hitting if she is mad. She will try new foods, which she absolutely would not have done before. Her play is still physical, but not rough. Lots of running and tumbling, but no wrestling tackling. She has many fewer, almost no bathroom accidents, and seems able to tell when she needs to go. She's now on a regular sleep schedule and wakes up with energy. Does this sound like your child? I was working with an 8-year-old boy. He was very impulsive, very angry, not aware of how big his feelings were. He would get frustrated easily. He would scream. He would name call. He'd yell at his parents. He'd hit his parents sometimes. And I saw him for about 5 months. Again, it was a 50-minute session once a week in the sensory gym. So the result, now this is how his mother describes him. My son seems able to down-regulate himself better. He recognizes his triggers more and can talk about them. He sometimes says, "Oh, okay, I'm getting hyperactive. I better slow down." I've even heard him say, "Calm down," to himself. Does this sound like your child? So I was working with a 5-year-old boy, and he was physically disruptive at home, school, and with other children. He needed a behavioral interventionist in his kindergarten class. He had difficulty reading nonverbal cues. He was very handsy with other children, and he had difficulty following auditory directions. So I worked with him for 11 months. So by the time he ended with me, he had turned 6. Again, 11 months, once a week in the gym for a 50-minute session. So his father describes that while he is still having some regulation challenges at school and in general, it's significantly improved from where he was at the beginning of the year or even versus 6 months ago. We're not getting repeated reports from school of hitting, poking, etc. So uh, I work in Pasadena, California, out of Greenhouse Therapy Center. I'm Michelle Coletti, and you can reach me at Dr. Michelle at greenhousetherapycenter.com. My name is Michelle Coletti, and have a good day.